Good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel Lovely Life Mallorca. I'm Andrew and today I brought you down to the town of Pollenca, and being a Sunday it's market day. We've got lots to look at, so without further ado let's get on with the walk. Well, the port of Pollenca is down there. It's not very far, it's only maybe a 10 or 15 minute trip. Got some beautiful mountains around here. I've walked to the top of that mountain before. It's a lovely little cafe and a monastery and different things up there. And this is the direction you go into if you're going to Palma. But today, as I said, we are looking at Pollenca, which is just up here. It's a lovely little local village just up here. Plenty of cafe bars, a few shops to look at. Very local. Today I come here on the moped, which is just over there, parked it. Plenty of free spaces around. There's going to be a lot of traffic today because it is market day, and even though it's not season at all, it's still a very popular market. It's a very popular town, this Pollenca. But the market is ahead of us. As you can see here, they have closed some of the roads off to cater for the market stalls, which does make it easier to have a walk around. It's quite a busy market, as you can see here, lots of people. But I have put my mask on today because I think it's better to be safe than sorry. Lots of locally grown fruit and veg. Nice selection of colours in there. The smell here is really beautiful from the fruit and veg, as you can imagine. Olives just ahead of us now. I think it's really nice to see so many people out supporting the local markets. Actually, it's very important for the small traders, isn't it? The cabbage and cauliflower looks really nice, doesn't it? Oh, it's got a pick and mix, haven't they? Bit more of a craft fair around here. A toy stall. It's definitely got a little bit for everyone in this market, isn't it? So this is just coming up to the beginning of November now. The temperature is still really nice. It's, as you can see here, it's definitely not shorts and t-shirt weather now, but it is definitely a nice day. You do have to look around all the nooks and crannies to look at the market properly. It's definitely a market and a half, isn't it? Last time I came here it was nothing the size of what it is today. So back on the main part of the market strip again. Lots of estate agents to look in. 1.89 million. There's some beautiful places if you've got the money, isn't there? And up here, this is the centre up here. We find lots of cafes and bars to choose from. So if you are here and you fancy a drink, a beer, a bite to eat or whatever, you'll find every restaurant you could possibly think of in the square here. And in the evening, it really comes to life. It is buzzing at night here. This is All Saints weekend as well, isn't it? So tomorrow, Monday, it's bank holiday. No, these here are like donuts and they're absolutely delicious. But watch how he puts them in with his hand. Each one is perfectly made, should I say. And they're so popular, they really are. Yum yum, let's have a few, eh? Go on. They are absolutely gorgeous, and they were 16 €4. How good is that, eh? How good is that? It's lovely to see it so busy, isn't it? So we're going to take a little walk now and have a look at the steps. Just round the back of it, there's 365 steps. Lead to the most beautiful view you've ever seen. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And the market still continues. I appreciate I say it at every market, but please, if you do pop along to a market on the island or anywhere at this rate, please make sure you keep your purses and your bags and everything else in a good position, because there's lots of pickpockets everywhere. So just ahead of us now are the steps, which get extremely busy, as you can see, especially in the summer months. We're 365 steps up there. That's one step for every day of the year. Now, legend says every step takes away a sin. So it's 365 sins, isn't there? So as you can imagine, I have to walk up these steps a lot of times each day. And there's a few shops on the way up here to have a look at when you walk in. And at the top of here there's a church and a little cafe as well. So I was saying at the top there's a beautiful view. You can see all the way across to Pollenca, a port. You know, it's a nice view all the way around up here. So it really is well worth having a look. I know it's a lot of steps, but believe me, it is well worth having a look. So you can imagine what the view's going to be like at the top, can't you? About a week ago we came up here in the evening when it was getting dark. So they've got lots of lights to lighten up the stairs, as you can see. But when you get up the top, it's a totally different view, because everywhere is so bright down the port. It really is a beautiful view. And a lot of the time up the top here, as you can hear, there's a guitarist. So that's the church I was telling you about. And just next to it, there's a little cafe for refreshments. Just there. It's very small, but it's just what you need, really, isn't it? So that's a view there. And these are the steps we've just come up. Don't forget, there were 365 steps I've just walked up. But if you don't want to walk down the steps, you can go down the road. So yes, there is a road that leads up here as well, as you can imagine. So you really don't have to punish yourself to walk up those steps, but I just think it adds to it. So down here they've got the view right across the port of Pollenca, and you can get a lovely view of the town of Pollenca, and loads more in between. Lovely looking at it from up here, isn't it? But there's a much better way we can look at it, isn't there? Wait for the drone. So what I was saying earlier, you can either go back down the steps or you go down the slope here, which takes you to a different part of the old town. So we're going to take a walk down here, have a look around some of the other parts of the old town, have a look at the Roman wall, which is beautiful in its own rights, and just see what we can find along the way. So if you do choose to come down this way, you'll get some really lovely views of the houses and things as you come down here. And as you can see, compared to the steps, there aren't many people that come round this way. However, if you come here at Easter, it's a completely different kettle of fish up here. That they have different posters and all that coming up here, all to do with Easter and the celebrations, etc., all coming up here. So it's well worth coming over here just to have a look at the different types of the year, you know, from Christmas to Easter. You know, we all know summer, and there's different types of the season, different times of the season, to see what's happening that particular time. And when you are walking along these quiet paths, it's also just nice to listen to the birds, just the sounds of nature. And when you get this far, you can either carry on around the road going down, or you can always take the steps. Which also takes you into the village again. But I do love to look at these houses, how well they were built years ago. They didn't have all the diggers and equipment, did they? I would imagine most of it was done by hand back in the day. Beautiful stone, aren't they? But if you think about it, when these houses were built, they didn't have any electricity, so you can see how they adapted them to electric over the years, can't you? So at the bottom of the steps now, last couple to do, and we're back on the road in the town itself. So you'll start to see a little bit of a few people popping around now, as you can imagine. So if you do come down to Pollenca or anywhere else, come to that, always just have a little look around, because you never really know what you're going to find. Now, ahead of me now, this is the Roman wall, which I think it's well worth coming and having a little look at. Just look at the stones in the ground, eh? Such a lot of work goes into this. I don't think you really appreciate it unless you really have a proper look at it, as it were. It's lovely, isn't it? I think it's one of the highlights when I bring people here to have a little look around. I always try to encourage them to come and have a look at this wall. And it's very well signposted to come here, so you can find it ever so easily and get back to the square when you're, or the centre when you're here. It's so well signposted, so you really can't get lost at all. Well, I hope you liked looking at the old Roman wall as much as I did. It's part of the history, isn't it? I do love history and looking at it. So we're going to take our walk now back to the newer part of Pollenca. And we'll probably get ourselves a little drink in there. And then that'll be the end of today's video. So come along, see what's around the next corner. I'll tell you what I've noticed, that there's hardly any litter anywhere here. Lots of leaves on the floor, but that's just normal, isn't it, having leaves. But there's just no proper litter anywhere, which is really nice, I always think. It's nice for people to keep places as clean as they possibly can, isn't it? I always love these wells. Again, it's part of the history, isn't it? But it just looks so lovely to think how even these were built, isn't it? Can't see the water in the bottom, but again, it's part of the history, isn't it? It's lovely. Anything oldie-woldy I like. I also like it. It's the new meets the old, you know what I mean. Some of these buildings have been done up so nicely and looking so modern, as it were, and some of them are looking, you know, quite older as they would be. But I just love it where everything's done with such respect, if you know what I mean. Everything's treated with a lot of respect around here, and it just makes it extra special, if you know what I mean. This is just what I was meaning. Who would have thought this window would be in a road that's so old? It's so strange, isn't it, to have something so modern in somewhere that's so old, isn't it? Weird. And then when you come further around, you'll get loads of cafes, bars, shops, anything along those lines. So I think it's just lovely to have a little look around to see what's around the corner. And then you'll find the lovely church in the centre again. So we're back where we virtually started from, aren't we? All the cafes and bars and things. And who'd have thought, by the end of October, tomorrow is November the 1st, and there's still people out in t-shirts, enjoying a bite to eat, a drink, just enjoying the last little bit of sun. Here we are, 10 to 2 in the afternoon on a Sunday. We're a bit away to have a drink, a meal, and to watch a live band, should I say. My friends, if it makes you feel alright. So this is the bank holiday weekend and the celebrations. So the market's just packing up now, being 2 o'clock. The music and the fun will continue. And as long as the weather keeps up, they'll be going up to evening meals and so on and so forth. There'll be a lot of fun had over here over the day. So if you did enjoy today's film, I'd love you to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget the Facebook page, Lovely Life Mallorca. And I'll catch you on the next film. Take care of each other, and goodbye for now.